Let me give you an analogy. And I already have the idea in my mind. Existence must be necessary to the idea.
Advanced simplicity takes hold. You'll find the truth from things of old.
I have an idea in my mind. I have an idea in my mind that a triangle exists. The idea in my mind. But the angles of a triangle do not add up to 180 degrees. Think about it. I have an idea in my mind that a triangle exists. But the angles of a triangle do not add up to 180 degrees. What's the conclusion?
We are on the road, suspending judgment until the truth is known.
Think about it.
You will find peace within, in the midst of all these troubled souls.
I have an idea in my mind. What's the conclusion? You don't know what a triangle is. Or you're flat out contradicting yourself.
Advanced simplicity takes hold.
You're flat out contradicting
You'll
yourself.
find the truth from things of old.
You don't know what a triangle is. Or you're flat out contradicting yourself. Just as it is necessary for a triangle to have 180 degrees. What's the conclusion? You don't know what a triangle is. Or you're flat out contradicting yourself. Think about it. It is necessary for a triangle to have 180 degrees. That is a necessary property of triangularity, triangleness.
We are on the road, suspending judgment until the truth is known.
Think about it.
You will find peace within, in the midst of all these troubled souls.
Therefore, the fool is in a self-contradiction. He violates the principle of non-contradiction.
There's no end game in mind.
Therefore, the fool
It's only the truth that we seek to find.
violates the principle of non-contradiction.
There's no end game in mind.
The fool,
It's only the truth that we seek to find.
therefore, the fool is in a self-contradiction. He violates the principle of non-contradiction. He simultaneously says, I have an idea of God, and then I don't have an idea of God.
Everyone must see it for themselves. The truth is there for you to find.
And we are live. We're always live in Discord, but we're live on YouTube now for a short while. Encourage everybody to come on into the Discord. We're gonna have some it's like a poor man's version of Rockfin, but at least we can say stuff what we want. Some of the stuff that we say, right, it isn't for the ears of everyone, because a lot of people get offended by a lot of things that get said just recently. So we're keeping them to the Discord chat. So if you want to come and get involved, the Discord's where it's at. We do this for there are people who are out there that have accepted contradictions, and they sometimes get offended at just hearing this sort of stuff. So there's a lot of people who are keen to be offended and, of course, report and do all whatever they do want to do. So come on into Discord and we can have more open discussions. Call it after hours chat. That's where it's all at.
Any topic, really, right?
Yeah. Like, I mean, mainly the stuff we've been going over, right, is because the truths that we hold about level being horizontal and all of that sort of stuff is caused a lot of people to have a lot of misconceptions about who we are, and that's why the topic of conversation has always been that. For me, it hasn't been. It hasn't been about that. It's been about the journey, finding the contradictions within. It just so happened that I was offered the chance, and I had a little bit of knowledge about this stuff, which has led to more knowledge about logic. So the topic is evolved into, well, I don't know, is it evolved or is it like advanced simplicity? We've gone back to the roots, first
Yeah, it's more of
principles,
that.
and that's shown the flaws within modern society, which people already have too many contradictions held. We find it hard to have these conversations, but it's just easier to have the conversations when we're not live, because I know there are people that don't want to talk while we are live. So we're after the conversations. That's where we come in. We will go into the Discord. We won't be recording it. I'll say that, but I don't know. It depends. It depends on how well everybody thinks and whatever the topic turns into. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, come on into Discord and we will talk about. I think there are a couple of topics already on the cards for tonight.
Yep.
One of them is the I don't know. I had a conversation with a guy who brought his brother in for a conversation. Now, it didn't go well, I would say. Left me sort of confused as to how to approach conversations with people. I mean,
It was a little bizarre, actually, quite honestly.
it's sort of like a conversation that you'd expect to have within this arena, but involving not this arena, right? It's like it's giving somebody a I don't know, like a sharp shock to point out the contradictions. And it's hard work to learn that, you know, in our conversations, discussing the topics within this arena, we've broken things down to such simple ways to be able to communicate that I think exposing people to their own contradictions that they already hold is it's dangerous stuff, and we have to be careful about how you go about it.
Yeah, because it's this is hyperbole what I'm about to say, but I think we may end up getting to the point where you say something in conversation with someone like 2 + 2 = 4, and they fly off the handle at you, saying that you're ridiculous. That's not what it is. You don't understand. I mean, it's seeming that way. It was almost. I mean, it wasn't quite that bad with the conversation Bev is describing, but man, it was it was pretty
Yeah,
bad.
it
I mean,
wasn't far off, I'll give you that.
no, it wasn't. It was like we're just talking about reality. Dude. It's like we're not even talking about anything controversial necessarily. At least we didn't think it was controversial. But holy crap, it was shut down immediately. Shields up. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you think you might be one of those people that can handle these sort of conversations, then click the link.
Yeah.
Into
Test.
Discord. But I mean, if you do get offended by certain realities and, maybe questioning some of the things that you do think you hold as truths, can be very tough.
Yeah, it does come down to, at least for me anyway, like the psychology of modern times. Modern human beings' psychology. Do they have the capability to, first of all, humble themselves to a point where they can actually say they may not know or they don't know. That's number one. And number two is, can they actually have a conversation about it? And I don't know. I'm increasingly thinking that you can't in modern times. Very, very few people, let's put it that way,
Yeah. And
psychologically can handle it.
I'm happy with the smaller numbers as well, too, to be honest, because knowing how the reaction occurred, it's understandable that a lot of people won't even want to listen to it. I mean, that was the reaction. Just walk away from the conversation.
Too
tough to
uncomfortable,
have.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, too uncomfortable. Yeah, can people have uncomfortable conversations and still have a conversation?
So,
Don't
yep,
know that it can be done.
click the
We're gonna
link.
try though.
Yeah.
Yeah, come
Well,
on
I
in.
mean, we do all the time. That's why, getting more people into the Discord will give more people a chance to experience the real. The YouTube was a show. It always was. It was to show everybody exactly what been occurring and the conversations of people that just come round here. I didn't bill any of those conversations. They were just conversations with people, just normal everyday conversations, but mainly within people within this arena. We've since found out that if you mention anything about models within a conversation about anybody and then link it to some of the arguments that we have, it's a tough conversation for anyone to have. And I mean anyone. It will always get shut down. It's no wonder that within this arena, why the arguments are circular and why the topic conversation changes constantly, because some of these issues are quite tough, isn't it? Because I think because there is an answer there, and people have become so accustomed to not having any proof in reality, finding an answer, a truth, a proof, is difficult, because you can then build upon things from that, and that leads to more questions about other things. And who can you ask about those questions? Where does that chain of questions go? You just get stopped at the start.
Yeah, do you think it's a an issue with proof in general or just proof in reality? Because it seems like people have no problem stating what they think that they know and defending that, to the nth degree. What's in their mind, what they imagine.
Oof. I don't know. It needs more conversations, but the conversations are too hard to handle for most
I
people.
know. Yep.
I mean, we do. We can only say about ourselves within this Discord arena, and more people that join, the wider view that we have. But it does seem that there's a specific type of person that comes here. They've maybe been in this arena for a while and realized that it may not be initially what they thought it was, and at that point, when you do that, where do you go? I think that you can only ever just leave or become a loner, or come over here and have a chat with us. And it's hard to fit into a group if you imagine that the group is already readily established. How do you fit into that group? Well,
You could be like me and just come over and do a whole lot of listening.
yeah, you can just come in and say hello. But I mean, I think this arena has given people this combativeness where,
Oh yeah, hello by the way. Good
yeah,
afternoon.
good day, Rob. Yeah, it's all about fighting the other and the other people on the other side. And unfortunately for us, we've gone up against the two false narratives, the false dichotomy
Both
sides.
sides.
Yeah, so we're neither of those sides. So within this arena, we don't belong anywhere.
But wait, both sides think you belong to the other side.
Well, no. See, that's wrong, isn't it? Because both sides want us to be flat earthers, and we're not. That's the only difference. Nathan Oakley thinks that I'm ashamed to be a flat earther. Well, I'm not. I'm just not a flat earther. And it's not that there's anything wrong with flat earthers. There's nothing wrong with globe earthers. I just think it's really weird people tying an identity to Earth because you're just talking about reality. And everybody lives there. There's no difference. People are just people. So like Kevin says, I'm interested now about the psychology of all of this, where people want to imagine themselves within part of groups and stuff. Well, I don't even. I know there's a lot of people that give us labels of our name and or whatever, but I mean, who's that? Why bother doing that? Somebody got Eric in there. Can we give him
Yeah,
a role?
I gave him the role.
Cool.
I'm trying to get him into VC. Yeah, hang on a second.
Yeah. So come on in, and the conversations will ensue afterwards. I don't want to. I want people to be able to speak freely, and obviously the situation that we're in, there's a lot of eyes on this sort of stuff. So speaking live on YouTube takes a fair bit, and just come on in. And there are some funny things that are going on at the minute. I think I did say quite a while ago, the situation that everything's in at the minute. The flat Earth need a few more heroes, and they're all fighting for the top spot now, like superheroes who can be the top guys. Because they do need it. The globe needs the flat Earth to be some new faces to be pointing at. I'm definitely not one of those, so you won't find that. I do like keeping a check on the arguments, though. I feel a kinship with the argument and with logic now. Almost as if that was my calling. Logos put me here on all of these little steps to simplify shit, to put it in the hands of normal people, make sense of stuff that, like, people want to make stuff more complicated, like that shit modus tollens that QE called the Black Swan. Whoever, does anybody know who made that yet? Has anybody talked about it? Has anybody said that was my argument? That is, I'm gonna say and put my name on that.
I haven't heard anyone take responsibility for it. It's
We
like a
don't
terrorist
listen to
act.
anybody
Take
then.
responsibility. Who's taking responsibility for that?
Whose argument is this? Come on.
Someone fess up.
So yeah. Hopefully somebody might own that argument and then attempt to defend it. we've pointed out many flaws, but I think there may be a video to come about the many flaws of the number one, the X number one proof of a flat Earth. I'll have to find whether they were calling it a proof or not. I don't know.
I think they were, but yeah, we'll probably have to go back and
Yeah.
look to verify.
We'll go over it. We can do a documentary about it because that's the journey that we've been on. You know, like part of the realization is to realize that these shadow giants are there to be shine a light on. And the thing about doing that is the moment you shine a light on a shadow giant, they disappear. They've gone. Everything with them. That's why I think some people don't like questions, because it exposes these shadow giants for who they are.
That was the that was the idea of the allegory of the cave, Plato's cave.
Oh, did you watch
Right,
that video?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but the moment you find out that they're just shadows and not reality, then you would think that most people would want to go find the reality. But it's funny enough, a lot of people don't want to. They just want to stay in the cave. It's the shadow giants, and you make even more shadow giants.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what they because of what Bacon did, chopped the top of the cave off, like filled the concreted the entrance, or just made it that confusing that there's no exit. People see the people casting the shadows, and that's their goal. That's where they want to be. Modern day.
Yeah, they want to be the ones casting the shadows.
Yeah, and they don't see that the people only cast the shadows are being told what shadows to cast. They don't have the wherewithal to see that part of the trick.
Yeah, which leads it to another one of the topics that we discussed potentially coming up, which is the idea of useful idiots.
Yeah, through the ages.
Through the ages, useful idiots through the ages. There may have been a few even in Plato's works. A few useful idiots, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think if I had to put my journey through all of this, I already knew what I knew, but it was the ability to get the words, the rhetoric, from first principles allows you to build, and that through the philosophy and the stories, you can learn allegories and how to deliver a message through rhetoric. That's the journey. I think that's the most important thing now, is the discussion of how to formulate these questions to encourage a discussion about things. And obviously some topics seem to be off the cards for social media or whatever, this YouTube arena. Luckily we have Discord and not live, since it's about the conversation and the discussion. Whether people want to hear that live, I don't know. That's within the discussion of the people that have the discussions, not in the hands of just everyone, I don't think, because some people get offended, some people like to ridicule, some people like to pick faults without ever putting up their own side, and some people don't like that. That's cool. So click the link, come on into Discord. We've only got a few minutes left here. I don't know, are we going to put a Buster an after song on it? Should we do it? Do we know?
Yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah,
you have to do an outro. Rob's here, so you have to do one.
what day is it? Is it Thursday? Thursday.
It's
Friday.
Wednesday.
Is it only Wednesday?
today.
Wow.
Mhm. Yep.
Who said
The old
it looks
Trivium
like
Day.
Friday?
It's the old
I
the old
did
Trivium Day.
put the thing on,
Mhm.
didn't I? Okay, well, we'll see how it goes tonight, and then
It's a
see
happy
whether we might be
Wednesday.
doing more of this.
My family comes back today. Yay.
They stopped spending your money. This is
Disney
awesome.
trip.
It's very good.
Man, I have to say this. My daughter got to go to the Beauty and the Beast castle, and they dressed her up like a princess and did her hair and everything. Almost shed a tear. So cute. If you don't have a 5-year-old daughter, you should get one. They're the greatest thing ever.
I had one, and I couldn't agree more with you.
Okay, tangent. I'm gonna go with a rumpus. You don't understand the tangent. This is since Fight the Flat Earth put a comment the other day that I didn't. In the conversation we had, for some reason, he seems to think that I didn't understand what a tangent was. Crazy how people see different conversations and hear different things. Okay. Like I say, short one tonight. Quick half hour. Just to get everyone know, come on into Discord. That's where it's at. That's where the conversations are. And we've got old friends coming in. So, see you on Discord, or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. See how it goes. See you in Discord. The tangent being parallel to the surface.
Well, it is. You do know what a tangent is, don't you? To a circle.
Yep.
Good. Well, actually, I don't think you do, actually. You've demonstrated many times you don't, but we'll go through it again. Hopefully people know what a tangent to a circle looks like.
Yeah.
And therefore, that is at the point of contact, that the tangent and the horizontal are the same thing. So you could say they're both parallel to one another, but the horizontal and tangent are the same thing at a point on the Earth. If you change where you are on the Earth, you get a different tangent and a different horizontal.
What about the circle, though?
Is it a straight line, though?
Is the circle parallel to the tangent?
Is a circle parallel to the tangent? Well, a circle's is a curve. You've got to pick on a point. A tangent, that doesn't really make much sense. You can have a tangent to any point on the curve of a circle. That point, the gradient or the slope of the curve of the circle, if you like, is the same as the tangent by definition. That's how a tangent is defined. It's the gradient of the curve at that one point where the line just touches a circle.
So
that is a tangent.
parallel?
And that parallel to what?
The surface. Parallel to the tangent.
Well, the tangent is defined. It's like, say, asking if something's parallel to itself.
What?
You don't understand what a tangent is, do you?
What he'll do, what the technique is they'll come in, they'll try to propose an answer to one of these unsolvable riddles, and then as soon as you try to object on some point of lunacy that they've made, they make it about, how you're so stupid and you don't understand. And then when anyone else tries to chime in to make it worse, is that you get a triggered flat earther that's like, how does this guy not see that, or whatever the fucking conversation is. And then they try to get in it. And then now you've got two flat earthers against Rumpus. Now he plays the victim.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's like, but this is what I'm saying. Is like anyone who's still playing along with the charade, you're just airing out and giving them what they want.
You don't understand the When I say gradient, you don't understand what I mean. You don't understand the basics. The fact you don't understand. I don't understand what curvature is. What I just said. You didn't understand what a gradient was. And the fact you don't understand this, that Bev doesn't understand the basics. So you don't understand what you don't understand what gradient means. But of course you don't understand what curvature is. Did you not understand what I said? I mean, my God. Are you that stupid? You don't understand what I mean by gradient. So you don't understand what you don't understand what gradient means. Then. Really, this dense, you don't understand what I'm trying to say. You seem incapable of understanding simple things. You don't understand the basics. So you don't understand what you don't understand what gradient means. Then I think people understand what I mean by the gradient. It's going a slope. It's got a gradient of about 45 degrees here.
You don't understand.
But of course you don't understand this, so I don't. Right, so Armour understood exactly the point that I was making. You don't understand what a tangent is.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You're just on your own.
Well, I've explained it in very basics, very precisely, very explicitly, and yet Bev will deliberately attempt to either misunderstand it or his IQ so low he's incapable of understanding. You don't understand what a tangent is, do you? I mean, you don't understand the basics. For someone who claims to know about geometry, you don't understand the basics. They misunderstanding, you see. This is the problem with this guy. He doesn't understand that I'm trying, but Bev doesn't understand this because he's a moron. I'm sorry, I can only do that understand the basics, don't you? And clearly Bev doesn't understand it has a gradient. I think most of the panel understand what I mean by the gradient of the curve. You don't. I don't understand what Cochet's point is. The fact that you don't understand this is just unbelievable. You didn't understand what a gradient was, did you? You then had to say, well, what's a gradient? I think most people understand what I'm saying if they're not trying to willfully misunderstand.
Don't understand.
I don't understand what Cochet's point is.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You're just on your own.
Typical of you, when you're using everyday terms, apparently you don't understand what they mean. Now, I don't know whether you do this deliberately to misunderstand what you're being told, or whether you're just stupid. You don't understand the basics. A child of about 10 or 11 could understand. I don't understand what Cochet's saying. He's deliberately, willfully misunderstanding me, or he's really stupid. And you don't understand that at a tangent point, there is a gradient. You don't understand the basics. No, you don't, because there's a gradient at that point of a tangent. So you don't understand what a tangent is, do you? You don't. You're a moron. Because a point on a curve has a gradient. But don't you understand? It doesn't matter how much you zoom in. Well, because I'm having to deal with people who seem to be willfully trying to misunderstand me. And if that's the case, I believe that's a disruptive behaviour. There's something that Ben doesn't understand, so everybody else try.
You don't understand.
There's something that Ben doesn't understand, so everybody else try.
You don't understand.
You don't understand what tangent is, do you?
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You're just on your own.
You don't understand what I mean by grade. You don't understand what I understand the basics. Don't you understand?
No reason, no logic, no wisdom, no worry.
You don't understand what tangents are, basically, is what you're doing.
You're just on your own.
I don't understand what Cochet's point is.
No reason, no logic, no answers to questions. You're just on your own.
You don't understand geometry, do you? You don't understand simple geometry. You don't understand what a tangent is. I mean, you're incredible. Oh my God. Okay, you're too stupid. Anyway, I've got to go to bed. Bed's stupid, and well done, Armour. You understood. I don't understand what Cochet's point is.
No, I'm a Glober, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you understand geometry and Ben doesn't.
I was about to put
Anyway, I'm off to bed. Well done.